What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button because that is the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does is that it helps to make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get their notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you've been ghost watching for quite some time now, please do me a favor and do yourself a favor by hitting the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a video. And lastly, please share this video out on your social media platforms to inform your family and friends on this news and information. And that also does help give me a little boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. And with the introduction out of the way, let's now get into today's news. Now, for those of you who are subscribed to this channel and you've been subscribed for, however long you've been subscribed, you've probably noticed that I love to refer to illegal immigrants, migrants, undocumented, whatever you want to call them. I like to refer to them as Biden's migrants. I often forget to, but whenever I do remember to, I call them who they are, Biden's migrants. And many times when I say this, most of you probably think I'm just being facetious, but no, I'm not. These are actually Biden's migrants. How do we know this to be true? Well, the so-called migrants, Biden's migrants, are now beginning to cross the border wearing Biden 2024 t-shirts. Yes, they're crossing the border now wearing Biden-Harris 2024 t-shirts in an attempt to convince us to vote blue so that they can continue to come into the country illegally. And you might think that I'm joking. You might think that this is just for ish and giggles. No, I'm dead serious. And let me pull up the video and play it for you right now so you could all see this for yourself.
New video into Fox News just moments ago at our southern border, a Honduran migrant crossing into Eagle Pass. He was in Texas, and he was telling Fox News that he is wearing a Biden-Harris shirt. So, quote, they let me in.
Es el presidente y la vicepresidenta de los Estados Unidos.
Ah, pero entonces ya lo traigo aquí para que me dejen entrar.
Biden-Harris shirt. I'm just going to read Jackie Heinrich's reporting to you on the heels of that. A White House official tells me President Biden is not going to be making any announcements or executive orders for border security ahead of the State of the Union address.
Yeah, if the White House hasn't seen this video yet, they have now if they're watching Fox News, and they are cringing. The president is trying to now blame the migrant crisis on Republicans, but everybody remembers President Biden raising his hand during the last presidential election cycle saying, come on in, we're going to let you in and give you all of these services. And aren't the only ones that remember it. That guy remembers that as well.
That guy remembers it as well. He remembers it as well. What's interesting about all of this, many of you may not be aware. Recently, I started reading a book. I believe it's titled Overrun, right? It's titled Overrun, How Joe Biden Unleashed the Greatest Border Crisis in U.S. History. And in the book, I believe it's within the first chapter, he discusses how acutely aware those south of the border are of American politics and how acutely aware they are between the difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, the differences between Democrats and Republicans. If Donald Trump were to win the election in 2024, regardless of whatever he plans on doing day one by way of executive orders and all the things that he stated, his victory alone would bring the migrant crisis to a borderline screeching halt. Because south of the border, they understand that when it comes to Trump, it isn't worth the trek forward into the United States. It's not worth spending the money on cartels helping them reach the border safely just for them to ultimately have to, quote, remain in Mexico, right? It isn't worth the journey. It isn't worth the journey for them to cross the border only to get captured and then swiftly deported. They actually understand this. So when you see that gentleman wearing a Biden 2024 t-shirt, it's not just because he's wearing that shirt because that's who he genuinely wants to win. And he knows and understands that if Biden wins, not only will I be allowed into the country, but all of my family and friends as well. He understands that if Biden wins, the migrant crisis will continue. And the doormat will be laid out there for you with the door wide open, the border door wide open for everyone to come in. Come one, come all. They are acutely aware of this down there, acutely aware of this. He discusses in the book how as soon as Biden won, as soon as it was officially announced that Biden was the winner, like that, you saw this huge herd of so-called migrants sprinting toward the border, sprinting. They were all sitting at bay waiting to see what the 2020 results were. But as soon as it came back Biden in 2020, boom, there they went. And here we are. Here we are. And there was another video that I came across on a Rumble. I don't have it to show you here, but many of you have probably seen this stuff already, on Twitter and whatnot. When you interview these so-called migrants on the other side of the border and at these little makeshift camps that exist on the other side of the border, ask them, who do you like? Do you like Trump or do you like Biden? I've seen so many clips of them looking into the camera, knowing full and well that they love Biden, and they knew that beforehand, and they'll say, Biden, yes, Biden is good, Biden, yes, I want Biden. So they know what's going on. They know what's happening here. They know the difference between Democrats and Republicans. They know the difference between Trump and Biden, and they are desperate for Biden to win the election. So I say all that to say this. When I'm saying these are Biden's migrants, these are Biden's migrants. That's who they are, because that's who they wanted to win, because they know if he wins, just like when he won in 2020, if he wins in 2024, the border will remain open. Everyone will receive asylum. Everyone will get their work authorization permits. And essentially what's going to come around is some sort of attempt at mass amnesty. We're just going to forgive everyone who crossed the border illegally, and you all just get citizenship. They understand this to be true, but they also very much so understand the opposite when it comes to Donald Trump. And mark my words, let Trump win the election. If Trump wins the election, mark my words. Like I said earlier, he borderline will not have to even do anything concerning, what he'll do day one concerning the border and executive orders. His victory alone will bring the migrant crisis to virtually a screeching halt. But we'll have to wait and see what happens in November. Until then, thank you for watching today's video. Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video out on your social media platforms. And also don't forget to follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. The link to my Telegram group is in the description box below, as well as pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you all for your time. And until the next video, peace.